Welcome back here on One Comic Book a Day, as it's a dawn of a new era where we are covering More Fun Comics, issue 101, with the first appearance of Superboy in the story that, well, the comic just titles as Superboy, but is listed in a lot of other places as The Origin of Superboy. The comic itself just says Superboy. By Superman creators Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. This story, if you care to know, is from 1945. And you might be wondering, A, why are we covering Superboy? And B, why are we covering Superboy so late in the show, where we're basically a decade ahead of what's going on right now in Superboy? And the thing is, in my arrogance and naivete, I thought we could get around Superboy. I didn't think Superboy was that important to everything. It's just, young adventures of Superman. I thought the big moments would be happening specifically in Superman and Action Comics. That's not true, unfortunately. Every time I would look up, say, someone's first appearance, or even make a claim that it was someone's first appearance, it would turn out, well, not always, but it would turn out a lot of the time that they may have shown up first in Superboy. In fact, there's a lot of contentions about certain villains, and though they were created for other Superman comics, they ended up having their first appearance in Superboy because it's the same Superman group writers. They're just kind of switching stories depending on who Mort Weisinger is throwing the story at. So it is, in fact, actually important to cover Superboy. So we'll be covering Superboy until I declare it not important. Because Superboy becomes less of its own thing. Well, actually, it becomes more of its own thing, to being very tertiary and superfluous to the main Superman. But right now, as things are being introduced in Superman, and we're still building the idea of Superman even into the 1950s, we need to cover Superboy. And Superboy first shows up, though I think versions of him have shown up, at least a younger version of Superman have shown up in Action and Superman. I can't say that for certain because I don't remember the first time Superboy showed up. And looking up his first appearance, it's immediately going to take you to More Fun Comics issue 101. More Fun Comics was, of course, an anthology series that was covering the characters of Green Arrow, Aquaman, Johnny Quick, and the Spectre at the time. But Superboy joins the ranks, and he will very quickly get his own series, though Adventure Comics will be coming soon, which also covers the same characters. And Adventure Comics, whenever it comes back, every so often does seem to become a Superboy book if they don't just give Superboy a book. So the origin of Superboy is just the origin of Superman, just a retelling of the origin of Superman. And I can't remember exactly where we are in the retellings of the origin of Superman. They had told by 1945. I think we had gotten to the point where he first is found by the Kents, but they take him to the orphanage. That is not this version. First off, the art by Joe Shuster looks great, especially compared to the last things we had sort of seen him do in Action and Superman. I also really like the design of the Kryptonians here. Instead of the classic utopian sci-fi robes, they're in this kind of Flash Gordon-y B-movie helmet and this red and blue shirts. I don't know. I just like that aesthetic. It speaks to me more than the robes. I can't really put my finger on why, but it's more of a me thing than the comic thing. But it looks beautiful. Krypton is, getting destroyed. They have to launch Superman off. It's not anything all that new. But the orphanage does find him beforehand. Well, someone finds him, and the spaceship is intact, and they just leave it there, and it's not really explained later. But the orphanage does give him over to the Kents. This, is phased out over time. The orphanage just adds too many questions. There's too many people who would have known who Superman is, or could make an educated guess who Superman is, who had to deal with the child as a baby. So just give it to the Kents right away. There's really no reason he should be at the orphanage. There's just so much to simplify. This is also, I think, the first version of the origin story, because I think it's still in the origin stories that have been told in Superman and Action Comics, even into the 50s, are saying that his powers are Kryptonian. All Kryptonians have these powers. But this one seems to make it actually clear that he's getting his powers for being on Earth, which of course becomes the mainstay. He gets his powers from the yellow sun. That's really all I have to say about it, but it's really quick and well told, as I've already sort of talked about before getting here. and what we're going to be talking about more of as we go through more Superboy stories, because we're playing catch up. So we're not getting back to Superman Action Comics until we've caught up with the Superboy comics. It's probably not going to take as long as I feel like it's going to take, but it's still going to be long. We're in 45 now. We have like 8 issues, six to 8 issues of more fun comics to get through. And then we have to start on Adventure Comics, and we have to switch between Adventure Comics and Superboy like we do Action Comics and Superman. God, that's a lot of comics. That's actually probably going to take as long as I think it's going to take now, remembering that it switches from Superboy and Adventure Comics. But right now, it's only 7 pages for a Superboy story, and God, does it work so much better. Not so much here. There's not like a lot to talk about as a story here. It's an origin story we've seen even a lot by 1945, but we'll be getting into some stories, and you're going to be, for everyone who thinks I'm too negative, you're going to be really surprised how much I like these upcoming Superboy stories. So, okay, that is it from More Fun Comics, issue 101, The Origin of Superboy. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when new video is up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story, either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let's ponder a question. Whatever did happen to the boy of tomorrow? Yeah, I guess that would be correct. Okay, have a great day.